What weapons did the Contras use? Have you ever wondered what kind of weapons were used by the Contras during their fight against the Sandinista government in Nicaragua? From the late 1970s to the early 1990s, the Contras were involved in a fierce conflict that was heavily influenced by the global battle between communism and anti-communism. Their arsenal was quite diverse and was largely supplied by external forces, especially the United States. First, let's talk about small arms. The Contras were equipped with various rifles, pistols, and machine guns. These weapons were essential for direct combat against Sandinista forces. They also used them for sabotage operations, targeting key locations to disrupt the government's activities. Next up, we have explosives and mines. The Contras employed explosives to carry out sabotage on critical infrastructure, including refineries and pipelines. They also laid mines in strategic areas like ports to hinder the Sandinista government's operations. This tactic was aimed at creating chaos and instability. In addition to firearms and explosives, the Contras also relied on knives and close combat tools. Soldiers were trained in hand-to-hand combat and used commando knives for various purposes, including executions and violent acts against those they viewed as enemies. Another important aspect of their weaponry was anti-aircraft weapons. The Contras claimed to have shot down several helicopters supplied by the Soviet Union, including Miles-8s and Miles-24s. However, the effectiveness of these claims is not universally accepted. The weapons used by the Contras reflected a broader conflict between anti-communist forces and socialist governments in Latin America. Their actions were part of a larger Cold War strategy aimed at undermining Marxist governments in the region. The use of these weapons highlights the violent nature of the conflict and the external support that fueled it. Understanding the weapons of the Contras gives us a clearer picture of the dynamics at play during this turbulent period in Latin American history. The Contras were not just fighting a local battle. They were part of a global struggle against communism, shaped by international influences and support.